So you can see the patches in the grass. So this is what happens when we don't get enough rain in some parts or some areas in Texas. Okay, this looks like some partial form of erosion, and simply what is happening is the soil is not compact enough, so when it dries it parts away from each other. So you can see the holes in the soil, you can see some partial form of erosion. This happens a lot when we don't have enough rains, and eventually what you see is it creates holes in your foundations, and gradually it will lead to foundation issues. So for homeowners, you have to be very, very careful. You have to make sure you water your foundations whenever we are not getting enough rains. Okay, it is very, very sad. You will see a lot of this when you go around a lot of homes. You see a lot of these erosion-like forms, you know, when we don't have enough rains. I'll show you around my foundation when I get home. This is very, very sad. Do not take this lightly. Make sure you water your foundations as needed. You can see the soil has eroded from the concrete. You can see there's a lot of soil erosion going on here. So assuming this was your foundation, what happens is gradually it creates holes underneath, and then your foundation begins to sink. So these are some of the problems we have in Texas. I don't know about other places, but where I live, these are some of the problems we have. So if we don't get enough rains, what you see is the soil parting from each other, and gradually you have cracks in the soil. So if you don't get rains, it creates holes underneath the foundation, and eventually you would have foundation problems. You know, we just had the rains recently. If not, you see, this is my foundation. You see the hole right there. So if you don't water your foundations, gradually you may start having foundation issues. You start having foundation issues. It costs so much, costs a lot of money just to fix foundation issues. Look at my next door neighbor. She's got a gush. You see the hole right there? This is her foundation. If care is not taken, she'll start having foundation issues. So take care of your homes and make sure you don't spend too much money in repairing. Instead of watering your foundation, you don't, and eventually you're going to spend $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 just to fix a foundation issue in your house. And this is not covered by any insurance, so you have to come out of pocket just to pay for such repairs. Not so good at all. So just make sure you take care of little repairs before they become outrageously high, in cost to repair. All right, so you can see some of the cracks. I'm in my backyard, and you can see some of the cracks in the soil, and it's just because the soil texture is not compact enough to hold together. Okay, so this is my front yard, and just as I was explaining earlier, this is part of the issues that we have in some parts of Texas. I live in the Dallas area, so I don't know where you live, but these are part of the issues that we have. So you can clearly see that the soil has parted ways, and you can see some form of erosion. You can see the hole is creating a hole in the soil, and this causes a lot of foundation issues if you don't water your foundation. And this is being one of the major issues that we have. So do take care of your homes. Do take care of your homes before you run into major issues, and that will cost you a lot just to fix. Especially with the foundation issues, it costs a lot of money to fix. All right, so you can see that's a hole in the soil. There's another hole. There's another hole right here. It rained a couple of days ago. That is why the soil has compacted. If not, you would have seen a lot of holes in the soil. But this is it, and you can be the best judge for yourself. So another clear indication, this is my front yard. Okay, this is my front yard. So another clear indication, you can see the holes right here. These are very, very wide holes created due to drought. When it dries and there are no rains, this is what happens to our soil.